welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is going to be a paint and ramble where I paint a project in front of you guys and we just talk. You know, discuss random things, your favorite movies, your favorite games, stuff like that. I try to avoid politics, I try to avoid social media, stuff like that because, well, I don't care for it. So without further ado, let me show you what I'm going to be working on. So, my friend had given me a disc that I painted. As you can see, it's an aquamarine metallic with copper and silver. Then he gave me a dice holder, which is awesome because I have a really nice set of metal dice that I don't really have a good home for, so this is going to work out very well for it. They fit nicely. I've tried it. I even put a random other D10 in there. It's one of my favorite ones. Shows an Ankh, which I believe is a symbol of life in Egyptian mythology, or just in Egyptian symbols. The hieroglyphs, I believe. This was a Werewolf the Apocalypse die, so that's where that one comes from. I'm going to use 3 colors. I have my copper, my bright silver, and my aquamarine. Let's just mix them up a little bit. It's been a while since I've actually used these. Well, truth be told, I used the copper one recently. And I'm going to probably follow a similar pattern to this, where the outside is going to be aquamarine. This part here is going to be copper. And on this one, this is going to be silver and aquamarine. I'm not painting the inside. I never Mod Podged it, so it won't stick very well. Plus, I'm afraid that the paint will interfere with the dice, and I don't want that. While we're at it, I might touch this up, but I probably won't until it fully dries. Alrighty. Now that we're comfortable, I'm going to start off with my aquamarine. And I'm just going to use a regular brush. I don't need a special one. It's just sitting in some water so that the bristles are a little softer. Might take a little bit to actually get a coat on. Oh, that's probably from the glue. I had an issue with the gluing and it didn't sit properly. Alrighty. I had bought these at a Michael's. They were on sale. I think they were just trying to get rid of their metallic amount. I think they were $2.50. So that's a pretty decent amount for a nice set of metallic paints. As you can see, it really adds a shine. I think people hear this. I do enjoy painting. I find it very calming. I was painting up some other stuff. In the background there, I don't know if you can see it, right next to Ted, you can see how the runes on that stone thing, Now Look Copper. I spent, I want to say, about an hour painting that and then retouching it up so I didn't really have any bad spots. I found that very stress relieving. I had a really bad weekend, and well, I just needed to thaw out my emotions a little. It was a fun weekend, don't get me wrong. It's just that I suffer from social anxiety, and I was in a very crowded place, which pushed my anxiety limits to their, well, to their limits. So it didn't really go over well for me. But I find doing stuff like this very relaxing. My kids actually like painting too, so every so often we'll paint little things together. I have gathered a bunch of like stuff together that I found, and my stuff that I'm gonna have them paint with me this weekend. We'll see how well that goes. It should be fun. I don't really have any plans this weekend. No, actually not true. Sunday coming up is actually my daughter's and my son's blue and gold. My daughter's fourth blue and gold and my son's first blue and gold. She's a Weeblo, he is a lion. And both of them are heavily enjoying the pack that we're in. Like I said, I neither condemn nor condone Girls and Cub Scouts, but I will let you know that I am 100% behind my daughter wanting to join, and I have no problem with that. She wanted to join to follow Daddy in his footsteps. Blah. My son wanted to join to follow his sister. So they both had fun. They recently did their Pinewood Derbies. They never really placed any high position. My son did second place a couple of times, and then third place. It was only out of 3 racers, so he didn't really do too good. The mistake was on me. I forgot to add graphite to the wheels, so they were a little sticky before I weighed them in. Once that happens, you cannot touch the vehicle afterwards. So by the time I got home after bringing them in, I realized what I forgot to do, and it was too late to fix it. So that one is on me. But you know what, though? The kids had fun. Even my little one, she made a one. My son had one that was a shark. The car's name was Shark. My oldest daughter had one with, I believe the Japanese name is Boku no Academia or My Hero Academia. She even had the main character as a little figurine on it. And the youngest, she had a kitty theme car named Kitty. Forgot what my oldest named her car. The Incredible Journey or something like that. But, honestly, they had fun. The pack they're with even had like a little table where you can build a Lego racer and then race it down a track. There you go. It actually looks better now. I'll let this dry and have a second layer probably put on where it will stick. I did Mod Podge these ahead of time, so that's why they're sticking already. But oh, let's see what happens. Okay, it's time for the copper. I try not to say my kids' names either to protect them. So if you're going to ask me what my kids' names are, I will not give that information. It is to protect them from weirdos online. I don't really distrust people, but I don't really trust people either. Too many creepy people out there, and too many people want to use kids and family to hurt others. So we're going to keep it with that. This looks like a giant dime. If you hear any noise in the background, the walls aren't really insulated yet, and it is a very windy day out, so you might hear the wind howling in the background in that case too. How about you guys, by the way? Do you guys have any kids or nieces and nephews that you guys do stuff with? I actually have, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 nibblings. And I love them all. And yeah, I try to be a good uncle. So that's all we can wish for nowadays. Okay. That's actually coming out quite nicely. The copper is making the blue pop at top. This is where it gets a little tricky. I'll probably wind up with coppery hands. I have a glue remover that I got from the Dollar Tree that actually works pretty well at pulling off some of the acrylic paint that I use. As long as I wash my hands like right afterwards, it removes pretty much every little bit of it. I have no complaint. This is not going to be the greatest job. It's just more for a painted ramble and for some relaxation time. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. Again, I'm going to let this dry a little bit and let it, we put a new paint load on it. Like I said, don't really need a big brush. I have a few extras just in case, but I think I'm gonna need a lot of paint. Probably wasted more paint than I needed, but oh well. This one's a little bit easier to paint due to the fact that it's got a large thing. Now, the one thing I have to point out is that it's not the greatest. Oh, that's not really all that bright. Can I add some gray to it or something? Just a little bit to darken it. It's another silver. We'll add a little bit of pewter to this to make it a slightly darker, hopefully still quite shiny color. Okay. Random kebab. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Remember, folks, there's no such thing as a mistake. Only happy little accidents. God, I love that show. I actually watch it as a relaxing show. I used to go to sleep watching it sometimes on my couch. Alright. So let's repaint it with that nice silver gray now. It looks a lot better now. Let's see. Oh, yes. That's going to show up a lot nicer on the dull gray of the 3D printed item. I might even just take some copper and put some at the way bottom or around here to make it more distinguishable. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you guys like watching Bob Ross. And have you ever painted like him? Personally, I haven't, though I might consider doing an episode where I try. I don't have access to all his paint colors. I have a very decent array, though, but I use acrylic paints rather than oil-based. So that might affect how my paintings look. I can't do those really cool techniques he does with the pre-painting the canvas with a white oil-based paint and then just like painting on stuff quickly. I don't think I have a good talent for painting all that well either. It's not trying to see myself negative. It's I know my limitations. I'm better at singing than I am painting. And can't say not by much because I love singing too. My daughter actually did some singing. She's in some classes to sing too. And she had her first a singing performance. And I forgot what song it was. Again, I'm terrible with names, so... But it was one of the ones from Les Miserables. She sang it beautifully, despite the lack of volume on the microphone. We could hear her. I actually parked myself close enough that I was able to record her. But I will not share that one if you guys are going to be asking me for that. Because, again, I want to protect my kid's identity. As a good father should. I will mention them in comments and passing, but I will try never to give their names. And to those that do know their names, please do not post them. Again, it's to protect their identity. But yeah, this is actually coming along nicely. It's been a while since I did a paint and ramble. Alrighty. Well, that's the initial painting. Let's just go over it one more time. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna wrap up this. No, actually, no, I'm not going to. I have plenty of time. I've done longer videos with paint and rambles. So I'm going to wrap up the silver. And like I said, I'm going to try to do a copper line around that. I might need a different brush. Got tons and tons of brushes, but not the right one. I have a thinner brush. Oh, yes I do. There it is. I haven't done a paint and ramble in a while. I feel like I'm a little rusty at this. So we're going to do right here. I don't know if you guys can see it with the light. There. I might be able to rotate that just enough. See? The light's down a little bit. I will rotate that one so it's a little bit better, but you can see the coloring a little bit better now because it's less direct. Oh yeah, there we go. That looks better. You know what these remind me of? The giant vault doors from Fallout. Another game I love playing. I used to play the original Fallout 1 and 2. The one on the computer. The top-down version. Oh, it was such a delight to play. I actually was surprised to find a major reference to Monty Python in the second one, the Bridge of Death, that pretty much ended the way you think it was going to end. If you fail to answer, you get blown up, and if you ask the right question, something about what is the stat behind something, and you're like, which one, the ability stat or the skill stat? And he's like, I don't know, and then he blows up. And you get to kill the gatekeeper that way. There's another little secret where if you walk around, you will find a crashed shuttle. I believe it is a reference to Star Trek. There's also the Tavern of Forgotten Dreams or something like that. They are the unused models that were supposed to be in there that you never got to use. You will also run into that version's Dogmeat, and you can actually get him as a companion if you take off all your armor and just go in your vault suit. He will recognize you and join you as a companion. At least that's what I had heard. I've never done it myself. I've been meaning to pick up a copy of it for myself, but everybody's selling it for very expensive, and I had a copy somewhere. I gotta find it. I gotta see if it works on my computer, because I just got an older game, Amazon's Aliens, to work on it. So I'm pretty sure I can actually get games like Diablo and Fallout 1 and 2 to work on the game. If I do that, I might do some playthroughs on those games. They're very fun, and some of the stupid references on them are simply amazing. Um, I know that Black Isle, I believe it was. No, not Black Isle. Interplay or something like that, were the ones that originally designed the first one, and then they had a huge thing with Bethesda, and we're perfectly aware Bethesda won that whole thing, and that's where we get Fallout 3, 4, Vegas, 76, all that kind of stuff from. But yeah. I also played Tactics. I've played Brotherhood of Steel. Tactics was weird. I also learned that they were based on yet another game where you survive the apocalypse and you have to build like a shelter and all that. There we go. Doesn't that just pop up? I'm going to try to do some more copper at the bottom. So let's just do it that much. Not too much so that it doesn't take up the silver, but enough so that it makes the silver that's there pop a little bit. Alrighty. Now this is going to be a very long video because you guys are just watching me paint this. So I'm going to speed up things just a little bit. Alrighty. I'll be back in a little bit when this is done. Alrighty. I'll see you guys in a little. Alrighty. I'm back and I essentially finished it. As you can see, I have the aquamarine top with a thin silver lining it, the copper edging, and a thin at the bottom of silver to make the copper pop. Tell me what you guys think. And then for the bottom, I pretty much have the opposite for the siding. The copper edge, the silver with the copper lining. I'm gonna let this dry and then I'll Mod Podge it, and then my dice box for my metal dice is complete. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Paint and Ramble. I will see you guys next time on 10E Productions. Peace, YouTube.